You're now rocking one-on-one with Raider Mystic P.O.V. With Raider Mystic P.O.V.
One-on-one with Raider Mystic. Yay!
To me, there are three things we all should do every day. If we do this every day of our life, you're going to have, what a wonderful, number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special.
You want sports content that you've never heard in your entire life? Check me out every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's One-on-One with Raider Mystic. We sit down, we have a cup of coffee, and we break it down for 60 minutes one-on-one with a sports athlete. Traverse the universe with me of sports as we interview all walks of life. We are just getting started. The only sports talk show in Central Oregon. I'm your guy. It's One-on-One with Raider Mystic.
Lillard, long-range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
One-on-one, go Giants!
Sitting in the hot springs last night. Are you?
We're going on. Good morning, Central Oregon. I'm Raider Mystic. One-on-one with Raider Mystic. Got a couple cool guests in the house today. Just still recovering from that stick figure show. And from what I understand, one of my guests, both of my guests, I believe, like the band. Get this down here a little bit. Well, very excited today. It's been a beautiful couple of weeks here in sunny Central Oregon. No smoke at the moment, really, but always on the edge of it about this time of the year.
Yeah, I was just thinking that last night. Smoke season could be any day now.
Yep, you would know about that coming from the Southern California area, right?
It's one of the reasons I left. Went out of the fryer into the frying pan though when I came up here.
The frying pan. Well, I got Jeremy Schneider with me, friend and co-referee host, and we also have, is it three-time? Three-time Masters World Champion disc golf.
Yeah.
Sharon Jenkins.
Yes, hi.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah. How are you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good. Just got back in town from a little 2-week vacation, and it's just incredible just sitting here in the studio right now. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Studio's cool.
It is.
We like the studio.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things are talked about in the studio. So, let's just get right into your disc golf. So when did you start disc golfing?
I started back in the late 80s, like early 90s. We used to always throw a Frisbee around, it was pretty popular in the 70s, and I just liked throwing. So we found out that you could actually throw these into something and keep score with it. And so it was a really neat little thing. My husband worked for the city, and as he was going around the city, he saw these baskets, these metal baskets, and he learned that, like you could throw these Frisbees into it. And so ever since then, we kind of got hooked on it. We met the guy who was running the course in Medina, Ohio, Itch Schmid, and he showed us how to play and told us some of the rules. And one thing led to another, and we were down at the course a lot. It's just a fun thing to do.
Yeah, I was watching a video with you on it, And you were talking about it sounded like one of the only ladies at the time, maybe, or just kind of getting into it.
Yeah, we were all trickling in. There weren't that many. Some of them who were playing were phenomenal, but we all lived so far apart. A lot of ladies played in California, or you get some in Florida and Canada, Ohio. So there weren't many of us at the time. But who was out there they were pretty spectacular.
And so you got a pretty mean toss then, huh?
Yeah, I did at the time. As you get older, you don't throw as far, but you're finding fun discs to throw. Just want to keep it in the fairway. The women these days, with the new techniques and the new plastic, and it's just amazing. Their technique and throws are getting, football fields distance, it's pretty neat.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Technology and different ways to, as far as the sport continues to grow and all of that.
Yeah, they have all these videos out now that show, you could really concentrate on how that person is throwing, slowing it down. When I first started, I was throwing it like a Frisbee, so I was always airballing it up. You want to get that nice air underneath it. And then when I learned to, throw it across your chest and keeping it close, and, so we had to actually learn how to play. But all these kids now and anybody coming into the sport, they watch all these YouTube videos, and it's helping them out tremendously.
Do you have you had your own discs at all? Your own sponsored discs?
I was asked to be sponsored way back when, I think after my second world championship, and I don't know. I didn't want to do it.
You didn't want to do it?
No, I didn't want to. I had a variety of discs in my bag at the time, and I don't know. I didn't really take it as seriously as, no, I'm a mom. I'm just doing this for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, I still do it for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, from what I see and understand, you're kind of a big part of the Central Oregon scene, it looks like.
Yeah, it's in my blood. I like to get involved with things like this, and they got a really nice club here in town, and my involvement with it, I like to run women's leagues, and I started that here when I moved in here 5 years ago, and the kids are our future, so I do run kids tournaments too. And you have a nice showing, and watching these kids play, they're so excited about it.
And what's so where are you playing at around here?
So there's I think 5 courses here that we play. For the women's league, we do have a traveling league. So we have it all scheduled. We start, my friend Sally and I, a couple months ago, we have it all scheduled, so we know where we're going to be, from week to week. And we did take in a couple other longer courses this year. We're going up to Madras. We played in Lapine. And
how's the Madras course?
It's pretty cool. It's on a nice little hillside, fun little
who's
holes.
building that?
A gentleman, Eric.
Okay.
And his wife, and
just a
Matt
love
Smith.
for disc golf?
A love for disc golf, yeah.
Not like the Madras community or anything like that?
No, I don't know too much about that.
Yeah.
It's a nice little disc golf community that's happening up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Madras is cool. We hang out in Madras a lot. This fella and I doing basketball refereeing.
Oh, nice.
And, they made us tacos last time we were there.
Fantastic tacos.
Fantastic
Don't
tacos.
undersell the tacos that we had.
Yeah. Big plus of the summer basketball.
Ooh, good tacos.
So is this something that's could potentially become an Olympic sport?
They've tried it
Great question.
years ago, and it didn't. It kind of fizzled out, but there's so many countries that are playing right now. I know my kids in Finland, and they're competing up there. They just had the World Cup between Europe and the United States. We do that every other year, and I think we've won it for the last 11 years, and we just won this year.
So we definitely need this to become an Olympic sport.
It would be amazing.
More golds for America.
Yeah.
So have you represented the United States in some type of world matter in this?
No. Sounds good, though.
Yeah.
But you were the world champion, so.
Yeah, this is a little bit different. It's a team event, actually, when you're playing like a match play kind of thing. So it's pretty intense.
So you think it might come back around as an Olympic sport candidate?
I think it could. I really do. And it should. I mean, one of the hardest things is to film it, for different courses, because even the crowds, you can't get a lot of people like in the woods if you're having a wooded course. But I think as the technology and the camera work come around, definitely, most definitely. And I know it'll be viewed. We watch other things that are look kind of weird, but people love it. And disc golf has gotten so popular since the COVID. Everybody was looking for an outdoor sport. So you ask people, when'd you start? And they say, just about 3 years ago. And
it seems like you have different types of courses, though, too, because I was up at Skamania Lodge up there on the Washington-Oregon border on the Columbia River recently, and their course is basically like a golf course.
Right,
it's on grass. It's really beautiful. But they're here in Bend. I noticed it's more like wooded areas or desert-type terrain. So does it vary like that, or was Skamania more like a one-off when it came to being like a grass course?
It's just what environment you have to work with. The parks, or they'll say, hey, you've got this, 17 acres on this desert, if you want to put a course here, go ahead. And then somebody else will say, hey, we have this a golf course that we want to put 18 holes on. So it all depends on who's asking, because you could throw over lakes. We have places where there's lakes, really tight woods.
Throw over the lake?
We'll throw over lakes. You should see some of the videos.
Sounds like some lost discs.
So is it like lost golf balls? You lose your disc, it's gone, or does someone go in that lake and get that disc that's more valuable than a golf ball?
There are people that go in after them, yeah. If you YouTube some of our tournaments lately, some of the competitors are throwing like over these big lakes, and they're making it, the wind's howling, and you really have to know your disc and what angle to put it on, and the flight, and it's spectacular when it lands and hits where it's supposed to.
Sounds fun, and
it is,
and could be expensive.
For
me.
Yeah, $20 a disc possibly. The more collectible ones are more expensive.
Bring your towel because you're gonna get wet.
But they do have areas where you can go off to the side. You could take the long way around.
Okay.
No,
it's like a golf course hole then.
Yeah.
Right?
And you do have a drop zone, if you did get it in the water.
Okay. Drop zone.
Yeah, all the courses are designed about what kind of land you're given for the course. So
you can have any terrain you want. That's great.
It is.
So you could really make a fascinating tournament, right? I mean, you could go from one type of terrain to another from day to day, potentially, even if you're in that
definitely.
Type of area that has that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, we got Sharon Jenkins, 3-time master world champion disc golfer here.
Mm-hmm.
Old school, like the original, came up with the original era of the creation of disc golf?
No, not the creation. Just getting people involved to play.
Okay.
I did a lot of, when I first started, our course wasn't very friendly. It had a lot of blackberry bushes in it, and the routes weren't so good. So I'd go down there, I'd work all night. I was a nurse, and then I couldn't go to sleep, and then I'd come there and start working on the course and cleaning it up. They used to call me the shul killer.
The shul
killer, yeah. But I made legitimate fairways at this course.
Okay.
And
cool.
I learned to use a weed whacker. I would go through poison ivy. I'd buckle myself up with all my clothes and just weed whack poison ivy. But just designing a course is a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Make it user friendly.
And the sport really appreciates people like you that have so much love for it that you're doing all of that.
Yeah.
Weed whacking of the poison ivy and
because you don't want to land in
bushes.
There. People goes, well, why are you doing that? And it's like, because you might land in there someday,
Yeah.
So I appreciate a good, clean course, a well-marked course. When we first started playing, there wasn't anything called a map to designate how the course was designed. So when you would get to a certain tee box, you wouldn't, if you didn't see the basket, you'd have to walk into the middle of the course, find the basket. The layouts weren't good.
Right.
So my husband and I would have this plastic tape, like ribbon. So we would like mark the courses as we went, so other people following us would have an easier time. So that's how I my little history with it. I like to make courses better than what they were, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing around here, yeah? A little bit?
I'm, the courses don't need a lot of weed whacking or, cutting
Right.
down the trees or anything. But we have a fun little course out by 7th Mountain. By 7th Mountain
the one
Resort.
right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of talked with a couple of the guys that work there, and it's actually a public park, and I don't remember who put in the baskets originally, but they're just like natural tee pads. And a couple of years ago, the club and I, we put in they're the thicker pads, they're rubber pads. But now I want to put in some paver stones, kind of make them a little prettier, nice more aesthetic looking. And
So that's technically a public park?
it is a public park, and that's
right
I
there
didn't know that.
in front of the end of the 7th
Right.
Mountain, which I had just assumed it was theirs,
I did too.
but it's
Yeah,
not.
no, and they don't want to get involved with
Promote
it
it.
so much, or promote it. So anything we do out there, I put up little T signs and try to keep it clean.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know that I've played there a few times, and I work here for the school district, and we take the kids out there too.
Nice.
And we play on that course.
Yeah, it's such a kid friendly. I just had my kids tournament out beginning of July, and this year I ran it as a PDGA C tier. And what's that? They get ratings on how they
Okay.
played. And kids are getting what's called the PDGA number. When you join the PDGA, you get a number. And so with having that as a C tier, they got rated. And it was cool. I had on Saturday, I had kids from 6 to 12. And then on Sunday, I had kids from 13 to 19.
What's the ratings? Like what's the
It's
number?
how the courses there's some technology with technical terms, but you want to get have at least a 700 800 round. That's when you're shooting kind of par out there.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. I know. I grew up playing tennis also, and we have ratings with the USTA and stuff like that. The only reason I mention this is because I just entered a tournament that's coming up for the first time in a decade, and someone was asking me what my rating was, and I was like, "That's silly. I don't have a rating."
Tennis tournament, just to be clear?
Tennis tournament. Yep.
When was the last time you played tennis?
A decade is what I just said.
You have literally not picked up the racket in a decade?
About that.
And you've
Yeah.
entered a tournament?
Yes, that's correct.
So when will you be picking up a racket? Prior to the tournament? Or the
It's
day
in a
of?
couple of weeks. I'm going to try to get a couple of rounds in.
He's going to meet me at Juniper. We'll play up
Oh,
there.
yeah. We were talking. We mentioned that on the phone.
Yeah, there goes
Yeah, see, I got the stroke right there. I got a little shoulder issue, though, that I'm a little worried about on the serve. It's a little crunchy up there.
So you're doing like mental imagery, picturing yourself playing tennis again? Or
Yeah,
just to get ready?
I watched Wimbledon.
that inspire you?
Yeah, and there was some great matches that actually inspired me.
You had an unranked woman win Wimbledon this year for the first time, ever, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's amazing.
And then there was a couple good matches too with the guys, not very high ranked against some of the higher guys.
I've been watching the Tour de France for the last few weeks over in France, obviously, and but I haven't entered a bike race because of it.
You didn't enter a bike race?
After not riding a bike for a decade, I decided not to do that.
There's a lot of bike
But you'll be
races
fine.
around here you can get involved with.
I'm sure you'll be fine, though.
Yeah.
No, so I did pick up a racket and I went out there and I was hitting topspin. I was doing good.
So it's like riding a bike. You never forget. Huh?
I just can't do the overhead smash like I'm used to that
Just
I
let
love.
it bounce once and then hit it, right?
Oh, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But
Yeah.
but I had a lot of fun playing tennis.
Good.
And the only reason I brought up that was because of the ratings, and I was
Yeah.
wondering how
For the kids, those ratings were low, but as a professional player, being 1,000 rated player is a really great goal. And once that started happening, people are hitting 1,000. Now they're going over 1,000 rated. And there's been some amazing rounds. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for helping out the kids and
Yeah.
helping out the local community too. Got all these screens going asleep on me over here. But
I have a quick question. Where's the nicest course you've been to for this?
The nicest course. There's one up in Estacada called Milo, which is a really fun, pretty course up there.
What does the yardage get to be like on a really well done course?
We do feet more than yards.
Okay.
So we would say, 300-foot hole, 350-foot hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we do it in that
And so if it's a 300-foot hole, are you looking at
par 3.
par 3?
Yeah.
Okay,
So we
three
say par
throws.
3s. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
And you have to actually get it into the. I'm sorry, I'm a true
Yeah.
novice on this sport.
yeah.
You have to actually get it into that basket.
it actually has to get in the basket. It could settle in the chains. It could go on the side, lean on the side, but it has to be inside.
But there's nothing more that a disc golfer likes than the sound of that clink on the chains.
It is.
It's like a swish in basketball.
Yeah.
It is. That sound.
Yeah.
Pure.
It's a
sound.
peaceful sound too.
Yeah.
It sounds like, I believe you mentioned this on the phone, pickleball. Mm-hmm. You've been playing a little pickleball.
I have.
I was going to ask about that. That seems like a natural competitor to the golf.
I think it's more strenuous, more at playing pickleball. It's more intense. When you're disc golfing, you kind of want to relax and you're in your own little world. But pickleball, you're always on the defensive, it seems.
See, I think pickleball is going to be an Olympic sport. That's my prediction.
easy,
It's
easy.
coming up real fast and it's natural for that.
Yeah, I've never played pickleball yet, but
Well, you've got your tennis career going
Right.
strong. Still, so.
we've got indoor places here that have thrive off of pickleball. We got brand new pickleball courts out at Pine Nursery where the disc golf course is also, and then Sun River Resort.
Yeah, they're converting all their tennis courts to pickleball.
All of them?
All of them, is my understanding.
Really?
That's what I read the other day, yeah. Well, they have a huge indoor facility of tennis courts there.
Okay.
And I worked there for a summer as a concierge, and very lightly used unless there was a tournament going on or something, or they often just convert it to use it for ancillary room space for other things, other events and whatnot. So it makes a lot of sense to convert that to pickleball, because I can't tell how many guests came up to me and like, where's the pickleball courts? How do we play pickleball? Do you have the equipment for us? Last summer it was nobody asked me about tennis. Everybody asked me about pickleball. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to play one day. But until then, I'm going to continue to try to go pro at tennis.
Once a decade tournament. You'll probably get there in about 160 years.
You only have one time to come back after being gone a decade. But
I know they're converting all the courts to pickleball, and they're doing that to golf courses too, because it's not so popular anymore. The younger generation isn't playing. We call it ball golf. I call as in playing ball golf so much. So they're putting baskets out on courses, and they're still charging. Because it's you got your greens fees, but just to keep up with what's modern right now.
Do we call it a tee time?
In some tournaments, you'll have a tee time.
Okay.
And that being said, you can get more players going through the course. Your tee time might start at 7:30, but on an actual regular course, you don't need tee times. You just show up and start playing. There might be a gang of 10 of people playing in front of you, so you might want to even go to another hole and start on hole 3 instead of hole 1. So,
does Sun River have a course?
They do. It's a real little one.
Okay.
That I need some work.
Are you going to go out there? And
I've played it, but it's not
take
something.
the weed whacker out there?
Doesn't need that. It just needs a different design. It needs a different design.
Okay.
Well, they've got those 3 beautiful golf courses out there. They should just
we should put one on
They
there.
should just
Turn
put one
one of
on
them.
there.
Yeah.
Seems like you could have them parallel at each other at times.
You can,
right?
yeah, if it's a well-designed course. My son, Avery, living in Oklahoma right now. That's what his career is right now, designing disc golf courses.
Okay.
So he's traveled all over the world and putting courses in.
So how many kids do you have?
I got two.
You got two.
Avery.
Valerie and Avery. And so for those that don't know, Valerie is a world champion also.
A 4-time.
We're going to say 4-time world champion. And then Avery, also 1-time.
A 1-time.
So you got yourself, your 3-time, Valerie 4-time, Avery 1-time. So that's just in the family. And then we got Nate.
Then you got Nate.
And collectively, you guys, I think we figured out between Nate and Val, it was like a 12 combined world champions.
They got some junior titles. And
the junior titles.
Yeah.
So
cool.
12, 13, 14, 15. We're going to go like 16 world championships just in your
fun?
direct family.
Yeah.
So this is heavy duty right here.
It's fun.
This is big time stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to get a world championship. I know Val.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
She this tennis one. I know Val had so many that were so close, but just like one stroke, that one little thing missing it by one, it's yeah. So she could have had a few more under her belt.
Is there controversy in some of these tournaments? Like, in golf sometimes they'll say, oh, the guy picked up his ball or he moved his ball or he kicked the ball back into the fairway. I mean, is there some of that going on out there?
Yeah, you do get that. And it's dealt with. You're supposed to deal with it within your group, but sometimes it might go,
is there an official who's walking the course during a big tournament?
Yes, during the big tournaments, and he will come over, and make the call.
Maybe that's another officiating thing I could get
there
into.
There you get into.
Basketball, football.
A little more peaceful.
So that's what you're looking for, a job. Okay.
I'm trying to see my angle into this.
Yeah.
I don't think I could throw it far enough at this point in my life to be an active player.
But it's good to know the rules, right? And not to cheat and play right. Yeah. Even for the little kids, my only rule I tell them at the beginning, we have these little markers. They're called minis, and you put it in front of your disc. And that's just to mark where your lie was, and then you can pick your disc up. And I always teach them, just keep your foot behind that disc. It's like the size of a paper. So in disc golf,
that's one of the issues is you have to pick that thing up and
you got to make sure your foot's
leave
behind.
The spot of where you've
yeah.
laid, huh?
So
I hadn't thought of that.
That's a huge one.
That'd be a huge controversy potentially there, huh?
Because, man, if you move to the left a little more, you get a better angle at that hole, So there was I think it was in Pittsburgh, there was a little controversy about this guy foot faulting too much. Like he wasn't keeping his foot behind the mini, but we don't have cameras there to really be watching.
Yeah.
This could really be an Olympic sport.
Oh, it could be.
Get the camera right on the foot
right
to
on
show
the
there was a fault. Have the Russian judge raising a flag saying the American.
Why does he have to be Russian?
Because it's Russians against Americans. And
it's like
Russian
Rocky
judge,
IV.
like in ice skating, how the Russian judge always screws the American ice skaters and that sort of thing.
Get a bad call.
Get a bad ruling.
When it's not Tanya Harding. But,
Now you're showing your age.
Jeez.
So,
by the way, is there a senior tennis tour for guys who haven't played in a decade that you can get on? Is that a thing? Or?
It's the doctor's office, I think.
Orthopedic Association?
Trying to figure out what's wrong with my shoulder, and they still can't figure it out. But we're working on it. So they give you a shot, right? Mm-hmm. Just give you a shot.
So did you take a shot in the shoulder?
Yeah, I did. I took a couple shots.
It's a couple?
Yep.
How's it feeling?
It's okay. But yeah, I can't do the full extension with the racket in the hand. Without the racket, it's okay. But once you put it in there, that extra weight just kind of tweaks a bone or something over here. I can't figure it out. I need another doctor.
Did you just start going to the doctor when you realized you couldn't serve?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was the same motion from swimming.
Oh,
because I'm an avid swimmer. Mm-hmm. I'm training for the swimming
USA
Olympics.
That as well?
The back float. I'm really good at it.
It's a good one. Good one to have.
I think that's what it's called too, the back float. Some people call it the backstroke, but I think most people call it the back float.
Depends what you're really doing there.
So you've mastered just floating in the
Dog paddle.
lake.
The doggy paddle.
Which we have a lot of around here. So
Yeah, we have lakes. And you know, the doggy paddle, or the dog paddle, is a great technique in a lake because you can go further distance. Like at Todd Lake, you can cross the whole lake.
Doggy paddle?
Doggy paddling. You don't waste too much energy, right? This is my theory.
you've
And-
gone in at Todd Lake?
Yeah.
Really? I've never
Yeah.
seen anybody in there before when I've gone by there.
Oh yeah, no, people do. It's safe. There's no like monsters in
Yeah,
there
I
or
know that.
anything. There's no leeches, anything like that. And
I tried fishing there one day when I first moved here.
there's fish
They're around, but I
at
don't-
sunset. They're jumping.
are they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fly
I didn't have-
fishing.
I had a couple bites that day, but I didn't.
Fly fishing's a good one there. But yeah, all those lakes. The only I mentioned a leech. There's only one lake up there that's got a bunch of reeds in it that I know has leeches. Such a weird word to say.
Mm-hmm.
But so don't worry about leeches.
I was at Hosmer Lake the other day.
That might have leeches.
We were kayaking around and saw water snake.
Oh yeah. That's got a bunch of reeds.
Yeah, it's got
Right.
a ton,
That's a
right?
fun one.
It's like a canal going through the middle of it, right?
I've never been on it,
Oh, really?
but
Oh,
I do
wow.
have kayaks. You can only fly fish there.
Yeah,
I
fly
believe.
fishing only, yeah.
It's right next to Elk, so I always end up at
behind it.
Elk.
Oh, wow, you got to go to Hosmer. It's beautiful. I think it's the most beautiful lake we have
Yep.
around here.
Have you been to Coltis?
Yeah, Cultus. I love Cultus.
Yeah.
We went to Cultus last summer together on your. We took both of our boats out.
Yeah.
We were
Great,
racing.
great memory.
Remember we were racing? We raced from one end of the lake to the other.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did circles
close.
around me. That was cool.
Aaron's got a little bit of an engine problem with his boat right now. He's just working on
There's
it.
no problem if it works.
The problem is it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No, it does work. It fired right up, but it's an old engine. It's a 1976, and
Let that roll around. for a
That's
minute.
old. I can't even add that one.
Outboard 1976.
yeah.
They only invented him in 1974 and a half.
Yeah. Is it on diesel?
No.
This little monkey in there, you just give him a banana. He was born in 1976 too, though. That was a problem. So
Yep.
the monkey's old. He's tired.
It's
Has the boat gone out this summer, by the way? Last I checked,
boat,
it hadn't.
The boat, yeah, if you've driven by my place lately, the boat's still in the same spot. But I would like to say I'm very proud that it did fire up on the first attempt
Oh, it did.
after it's been sitting, in the elements too. Because it's an old boat, I don't give it as much love, right? So it got snowed on, it got rained on. I think it had like a foot of like ice in it at the beginning of the year. And I got that drained. And
And you're like the fourth owner of this boat who could tell this story too. So this boat's been through a lot.
but
Good boat. Sounds like a good boat.
But yeah, it's like a YouTube video that you like, oh, it fired up again here. It's my first attempt since.
When you said it fired up, you meant in your driveway it turned on for a second?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it hasn't actually gone to a lake this summer.
No.
Oh.
No. We're working on the car that pulls that boat. So we're getting there.
Getting there.
We're getting there. We're almost there, but we're heading to the coast. And Sharon, you said you were just took a nice little drive.
I did.
Through the Northwest, and you were on the coast.
Yep. Went to Lincoln City.
How was the weather there?
There a little bit of the marine layer was kind of settling in.
Oh,
Like foggy?
love it.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
Sign me
cool.
It was
You know,
comfy.
I want to move to Newport.
Sign me
I want
up.
to move out there. I want to move to the coast and live in 50 to 60 degree weather permanently. Like, I look every day. Here it's 100, and there it'll be 62
Yeah.
with a low of 52. It's like a 10-degree range, right?
but no sun.
I'm
You're okay with
from
that?
Key West, Florida originally. I've had enough sun.
You've had sun.
to last a lifetime. Like the sun can. Me and the sun aren't even on speaking terms
Oh,
anymore.
gotcha.
Yeah. Like I'm all about the winter now and the cold and
You'll like it there, then.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
would love it.
does everyone in Key West listen to Jimmy Buffett all the time?
Yeah, that's a real thing down there.
Is
Yeah, I
it?
mean, since the 70s, the guy's been entrenched down there.
I like those
Yeah.
boat concerts where you pull up your boats.
Yeah. It changed a lot, the island. When I was growing up as a kid, it was a small, slow place, I'm fifth generation down there, so totally
Wow.
different world I grew up in than what, most people go down there for vacation to party, get out on the boats, and it's great, it's beautiful for all that, but it's not what I grew up in. Me, it was more like Tom Sawyer type existence, down there. It was really cool. Yeah. I don't even go there anymore because it's not something I recognize.
So I'm trying to imagine
Ben?
Tom Sawyer existence. What is this? Like you're running
Build my
around
own
like
wooden raft and
barefoot
float
with
to Cuba. Yeah.
with a little
Smoke cigars with Castro and come back. I actually have photos of my grandparents taking their boat to Cuba.
Wow.
Yeah, they actually back in the 40s and 50s would actually take their boats from. It's only 90 miles from Key West to Cuba, and they would actually go over there for the weekends and hang out and come back. And I have pictures of them doing that. And like, it's hard to imagine now.
I know the Raiders are playing the Dolphins this season. And
Yeah, in Miami.
Yeah, in Miami.
Yeah.
The last time they did that, I went to that game.
Did you?
And it was off the hook. It was a lot of fun. But I know some people that are going to Cuba this
They're
this
gonna
time
go.
around.
Yeah,
They're
Cuba's
like,
opened
"Hey,
up a little bit. Yeah.
come with us. We'll go to Cuba.
Get some cigars, huh?
Get a
I
cigar.
wonder if they play disc golf in Cuba.
Cigarillo.
You think they play it there?
I don't know if they got a course there. Not yet.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think
if
they have
do.
one in Honduras.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
my father-in-law's from Honduras. He was
Yeah,
just down
go
there a few
that
weeks
way.
ago.
I'm sure they do in Costa Rica.
In Costa Rica, probably.
There's a lot of crossover
that'd be-
there.
So where's the most beautiful? And I asked you the nicest question, like beauty-wise. Like, where's the best? Like Hawaii? Have you gone to like Hawaii?
I haven't been to Hawaii.
They got to be playing it there.
Oh, they
right?
do have several courses there. Yeah.
That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah. And Finland's really popular these days. I heard they have beautiful
Finland.
courses there, well manicured and long. So,
Like in
I
the
haven't played-
Alps too, yeah.
yeah.
I think Nate and Val were telling me about some stuff
Some
out
designing them up there.
there. Over there in that Europe area.
Yeah. I know we have one up here at Mount Bachelor. Did you know we have a disc
Oh
golf
yeah,
course?
it's a big one.
That's our Alp right there.
Have you done that one?
I have a few
You have
times.
to ride the lift, yeah.
You have to ride the lift up
Oh.
and play coming down.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
you must get some real distance on that type of thing.
Yeah, and
right?
if the winds are picking up, there's a couple 800-foot holes. So you're watching your disc just go whoa up and down,
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's fun.
Good
we'll
workout.
have to do that. This is the time of the year to do that
It
too,
is.
yeah.
It just opened up.
Mount Bachelor's such an interesting place, isn't it? All the different
With all
sports
the
you
bike
can do and
riding
everything.
coming down.
I mean, I
Yeah.
ski there. That's my big thing, to go skiing in the winter. But the summer, it just has
You don't ski there in the summer?
not as much. I tried, but the knees aren't what they used to be on that gravel.
Yeah.
It can be tricky.
Little knee burn.
A little bit, yeah. And I have a shoulder thing that won't let me serve anymore, so
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah.
maybe go to a doctor and get a shot.
Get your shot. Get your shots, kid.
That's what all the cool kids are doing.
They give you another 6 months.
But you'll heal.
But I'll heal.
But you heal. Sometimes injuries take a while, but you'll heal.
Yeah, I had a really bad
Positive
shoulder for a while, and it's
Seriously.
gone now. It's like just went away.
Kind of takes care of itself, heals in its own way, and
I think shoulders are inclined
I
to do
was
that more than like a
hoping.
knee.
Yeah. Knees, yeah.
Knees don't tend to heal themselves, but I feel like shoulders sometimes just give it some
You just
time.
get a new one if the
Give
knee
it-
if the knee hurts. They give you a new one.
Well, they do.
There's
have
good
knee
exercises out there. I'm all about the exercising. Let me tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah, retention.
I've had some crazy injuries, but through exercise, and they've helped. Different muscles.
Oh, it seems like you're
techniques.
in great shape compared to us.
Yeah, oh God.
To be honest, here. Just looking around the
It's
room right
that
now.
serving.
Looking around the room right now, I'm just thinking, one of us is in better shape than two of us. By a
But it is
long
good.
way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, disc golf keeps you go.
We're with you with the health thing
Yeah.
for sure.
God.
I've been doing physical therapy for the first time in my life, and yeah, the things they're stressing are the stretching and
Yeah.
showing me ways to stretch those
And weights.
muscles. I
No,
normally
you
don't
always
do.
think stretching, but sometimes you can overstretch. So you have to build up the muscles around your injury. So I've learned that in the last, many years.
Well, I'm not overstretching. I know that.
Good,
I'm
okay.
just trying to stretch.
Just trying to.
And the,
then
and the
that's
weights,
a, yeah,
and
that's
the
a start.
weightlifting. How's the
The
weightlifting? going?
weightlifting. Have you seen the that new movie on Schwarzenegger on Netflix?
Oh, they have a new one about him. Such an interesting guy.
I barely watch Netflix, but
I watch it a lot. I haven't seen that.
it's like check it out. It's only
about his career?
3 parts. Yeah, it's a whole.
Oh.
It's on his life.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Classic footage of him hanging out at Venice Beach and working out, sunning, tanning.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Just
Shut
have to-
up.
anytime you bring up Schwarzenegger, you have to start quoting his movie lines. It's like If you're a guy in your 50s, you're just going to start throwing them out there.
But yeah, so Schwarzenegger, he saw one image of Hercules from like an old like 1950s, 60s movie, and he wanted that body. That's it. That's all it is. And that's the beginning of his story. And he wanted that body. He worked his way into that body because that's what he wanted to do. And he got that body. And then he started winning everything. And then he was done with that. And he's like, okay, now I want to act. And then he starts acting. And then he starts acting in everything. He's like, okay, cool, I'm done with that. Now I want to try politics. And he just does whatever he wants, you know, so... It's a cool story of just following your dreams and stuff.
Power of visualization, right? Like visualize what you want in life, and
yeah, that's what
sort of manifest. But be careful what you visualize too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in negative visualization. I'm sure you do that a lot with picturing how you're going to throw that.
You do, yeah. And even setting goals. I always, even for the kids, I say you got to set a goal. You know, so and it stays in your mind, and like the visualizations and stuff. I think it's very helpful.
Schwarzenegger, on his wall, he would write everything down that he wanted to do and mark it off. And and now, because of Schwarzenegger, I think I say his name right every time.
You say it a lot, I've noticed.
Schwarzenegger.
Is he going to appear?
Hello, Aaron.
Aaron, what do you need? Please stop doing this, Aaron.
But I do now write things down on a chalkboard also.
Do you? Yeah.
Just say you got it done.
Yeah,
it's good to get things done.
And
I think it's a little scary almost sometimes how well visualization works once you really tap into it and clear your mind. Like, I can't believe how my life has changed over the years just from reimagining it and then going out and having it happen. I mean, I don't live an amazing life like it sounds you do or the mayor here, but still, I visualize what I want to be, what I want to go from, you know. I was a trial paralegal for 25 years down in Los Angeles in court all the time doing trials and everything. And all of a sudden I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want this existence anymore. It's wearing me out. And I started thinking about trading stocks and started picturing myself in that line of work. And then I started doing it. And then I started saying, well, I want to be a day trader. I want to do this from home. I don't want to be in an office environment anymore. And I just kept visualizing this new life, and then it just sort of manifested itself to the point where I left Los Angeles, came to Bend, and now, I get up at 5 a.m, trade for a few hours, and the rest of the day's mine.
Beautiful.
And
you had your goals.
Yeah, they weren't just goals even. They were like picturing what it is you want out of life and what you want to see and what you want it to look like, which is, it's so interesting to me. And to me, it goes right to the heart of the mystery of what life is even about and what it is and why we're here. And where are we even, And what I've realized is you can really just sort of create your own world, right?
Right.
Which it sounds like you've really done in your life.
And still am, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, you were telling us about your trip to the coast.
Yeah.
And just...
I have a nice little Ford Transit I got decked out. And I think that's what makes it more convenient, traveling in that. I could park anywhere, do anything. So
I think Bend's a really unique place with a group of people who are like that, I've noticed.
Yeah, like-minded.
A lot of people who are just living their lives, their best version of their lives, and so interesting to me being up here compared to in Los Angeles where everything's manic and neurotic, and you're caught up in just the
freeway,
crazy race. Yeah, the freeway. Well, the freeway's part of it. Honestly,
the rat race.
Yeah, it's like a race that you can't win, but nor can you stop trying to win it.
And you got to go really fast to get by all those cars.
Yeah, like you never. Yeah, I mean, I did it for like 25 years of commutes.
Sometimes the car's on fire on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's just another car you beat that day, I got that guy. That guy's not passing me today. Not today, buddy.
Yeah, that was crazy coming out of the woods and how I've been living last week and coming out and thinking I got into Sisters and just that traffic right there. It's like, oh gosh, I'm in traffic again.
Yeah, I don't complain
and there's
about
nobody
traffic.
On the road, and that's nothing. That Sisters is nothing.
You don't want to drive through Sisters during the Quilt Festival.
No.
Oh, they had that a few weeks ago, didn't they?
Yeah, it's an annual thing.
Yeah.
Have you gone to it?
It's usually the same time as the Oregon Country Fair. So if you're going to the country fair, you're getting like.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you think quilting can become an Olympic sport? Is that on the table or?
No.
Not going to happen.
No, not yet.
No.
Okay.
But they're awesome.
Yeah.
Have you gone to the festival?
I've seen quite a few quilts. Yeah, I've seen people's work and stuff.
My grandma made a mean quilt.
So neither of you have gone to the festival?
No, not there.
still.
Staying away
But
from all
I
the
don't know.
traffic.
I don't know anybody that makes quilts anymore.
Quilting
You know,
traffic.
like that's like one of those things that's a little more lost. One of those skills that probably isn't as passed down as often with like the Walmarts and the all that stuff going on.
I do have a friend that quilts, though.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I think there's quilting going on. You just don't
So,
realize it. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
you're not
the
in that
home.
club.
I'm not
He's not in
seeing
the
it.
club.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not in
you
the
don't
club.
go to the festival, for instance. You've never been.
How do you know?
'Cause I asked you 2 minutes ago. You said you hadn't. So
I drove
we-
through it. Does that count?
It's close.
Well, you got caught up in the traffic from the quilt festival. That does not count.
All right.
No.
Well, in case you don't know what we're doing here, we're talking with Sharon Jenkins,
I don't think anybody knows what we're doing here. At this point.
three-time world champion disc golfer, and you're wearing a Bevel shirt.
Yes.
And Bevel is a local brewery. It's one of the hardest words for me to say. That
brewery
is owned by your daughter and Nate,
Son-in-law.
son-in-law. I always stay away from saying all that extra stuff because I
Yeah.
always say it wrong.
He's a sweetheart. Good son-in-law.
And
we'll get you a flow chart to track the.
yeah,
family.
yeah. Give me the chart. I need the chart. And he won the best brewer in Bend a couple years in a row.
Yeah, 3 times.
Just
yeah.
recently, 3-peat
I think
champion.
he's 3-peat, yeah.
There's probably classes for brewers, like microbrewery, of certain types of brewing, or is it just one?
They
big
don't. I don't
class?
even think they call it microbrewery because I
Is
know
that
when
out?
I first
That's
started.
out? That used to be a word.
Yeah,
right?
it used to be a word.
Oh, okay.
But now
'Cause
they're just.
there's so many.
Yeah, there's just so many. Because when we used to travel around, my husband and I retired back in '09, and we were traveling the country, seeing how many disc golf courses we could play and how many microbreweries we can go to. So it was a good little combination.
Goals.
These are my
Remember,
goals.
kids, we got goals.
And we did good. Our goals were met. So.
That's
But
good.
they're just called breweries. They're called a craft brewery, and it's a 10-barrel system. And with that, Nate can always make new beers and try new recipes and stuff. So there's always such a nice menu of different
Nice.
beers that he's brewed.
You said
so.
it's at Ninth and Wilson, huh?
Ninth and Wilson.
Yeah,
I love going to all the breweries around here. I
Yeah.
don't drink beer, but I go for the food.
It's really cool. You don't really see it from the. You can
They
see
go-
the big word Bevel, but once you walk down our little path, it just like opens up. And we have a couple of disc golf baskets there in the back. You know, we have a little piece of property back there, which is awesome. And we've got
Food carts.
food carts and plenty of seating. And
I believe there's a stage.
we do have a stage. It was like our bike rack, covered bike rack. We converted to a stage.
Sweet.
And we have music on Wednesdays.
Yep, my girlfriend and I, Stacy, will be playing there
Nice.
on the 23rd. So Jeremy,
What are you gonna play?
That would be a good
Drums?
opportunity
Is
to
it a drumming
come
event for
check
you?
us out and check out Bevel.
And bingo on Monday.
Bingo.
Bingo at Brent on Monday, which supports a lot of the local charities in town. So every month.
With
we
your
change it
shoulder
up.
though, that's a
Can
no
you-
go right now.
Bingo's hard
Yeah.
with a bad shoulder.
You get excited, you're like bingo,
Yeah.
you throw that arm up, and now you're hurt again.
You know,
Now you're out another
my
3
biggest concern throwing up an arm is hitting it in the ceiling fan.
Is that fear?
That happened a couple weeks ago for like the 10th time in my life.
We don't call you nubs for nothing.
but yeah, Bevel. It's a cool place. It's like a
Are you
historical disc golf.
Wait, are you
kinda
DJing there? Are you playing
setup.
drums, or what are you doing?
No, we're playing music. Stacy and
What
I.
will you be playing?
I will be playing acoustic guitar
Oh, guitar
and drums.
and drums.
You know, we just performed the other night. She plays bamboo flutes and stuff like that. We do
wow.
we do some cool
Awesome.
Fleetwood Mac stuff. I do a great version of "Crazy" by Seal
There
on
you go.
acoustic. I do "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd.
Will you do Freebird on request?
I don't do Freebird. I don't know that song.
Not
but,
yet. He's going to be practicing.
Now he will. He's gonna go home. And be like, I'll show him.
Got a
Yeah,
goal.
I'm trying to learn Stairway actually.
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, because that's the one you're not supposed to. Everyone's supposed to know, but we don't know it.
So are you moving back into like playing music? Is that you're getting away from DJing? Because I know you DJ a lot of local bars and clubs.
Yeah, no, I've always done both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A couple. This last week's been busy. I've had three music gigs and 2 DJ gigs.
This is the busiest man in Ben, by the way.
And then the radio show on Saturday morning. Like
To wake up early for this.
It's a little rough.
Yeah.
Like I did DJ last night.
I took my dogs for like a 2-mile walk on Wednesday
You're good.
this week. That was my big outing.
And I take the dog out like every day.
He's always got to one up you though. You see that? I go. I took my dog for. He's like, oh, I did that too.
I did that too. No,
whatever you say.
No, we got the Boston that's got a lot of energy, and so you got to get him out, or else he's like thinking he's still going out.
Yeah.
If he's
like
not.
Next time you come on the show, he's like, I'm the disc golf world champion now. Did you know that? He's gonna try to one up you too. So
3 times.
3 times.
4 times.
This happens on the basketball court all the time. I call a foul, he's got to call a foul. I call traveling, he's got to call traveling. It's like one upping you the whole game.
And for anybody that's listening out there, that's not really how we officiate. But I would, on a basketball sports note, next month there's going to be a 3-on-3 outdoor tournament in Redmond.
Oh, is it coming back around? It was in Bend last year, wasn't it?
That was, yeah. It's totally different people.
Oh.
But they will be looking for referees.
Is this your way of asking me to ref a 3-on-3 basketball
They
tournament?
will be looking for referees if you're available. Wink, wink.
Well, as I mentioned a minute ago, I'm pretty busy right now with the dog walks. So.
Yeah. So we just have a few minutes left. As far as what do we want to get in here? We will be at Bevel. You should come down on the 23rd of next month, next Wednesday
of August.
And it is it's a disc golf themed bar.
Yeah.
So we do sell discs there.
And you got the disc golf channel.
Yep. Always disc golf going on the TVs.
Which who's commentating all the time?
Val and Nate are commentating quite a bit.
Val and Nate are doing the play-by-play on the disc golf network.
Pretty cool. I think they've been doing it like 5 years now.
Yeah. They are like
they're royalty in it.
The royalty of disc golf world.
So where do we see disc golf going in like the next decade? We talked about the Olympics maybe, but is there a pro money league?
Oh, big money.
Is it that's already going?
Yeah. The money has really surged up there. I know when the kids first started playing, you always wanted to make enough money for gas money to get to the next tournament, and that was really hard. And a lot of times, too, the women weren't getting paid as much as the guys were. They're playing the same tournament, they're doing the same thing, but the women always never got paid enough. But now, Val's a big advocate for women's disc golf, and through the years, just recently, the women are getting paid as well as the men.
Nice.
For all their time, and they're doing the same job as the guys are. So, the equality of that, I think that's really catching up, because there's the women now are the best they've ever been. Yeah, they're amazing.
And I know with you and with Val, I know she's the one that had the website?
Yeah, Disc Golf for Women.
Disc Golf for Women.
We needed that so bad in the early years because nobody was really speaking up for us. The women were never like put on the magazine covers, or when there was like into the finals or something, they never filmed or did anything for the women, And I'd be that don't do this until this happens, We needed a leaderboard. We needed this. And so I kind of advocated at the beginning, don't do this unless we get this, It's kind of.
I think, we got the Women's World Cup soccer just started. I think they're the drivers of women's equality. That team, I think, has pushed all sports so forward in women's sports.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you're just not. You're fighting for it, but you still want the equality of it. You're working as hard. Why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of did in my early career, just to see where it is now, And I'm really proud where it's at. And in the future, I don't know. I just think that the purses are going to be going up. The courses are. I haven't played all those beautiful courses. Like, there's different layouts when you do have the championships. I played the regular courses, and there's just so many fun. I'm in it for the fun. I really enjoy it. and watching other people play and watching the kids play. It's fun.
That's good.
I raised a few good that are world champions right now too. So
Yeah.
And you're about to have a grant?
Yeah.
This future
I know.
champion
Oh,
coming
yeah,
along.
we got a baby on the way, huh?
he's got to take care of the brewery. We got to.
Oh, is it a boy? Do we
It's
know
going to be a
that?
boy.
Oh.
But yeah, we need brewers in the family too.
Is there a
Grandma
name?
needs her beer.
Is there a name? Is there a name? Victor?
It is.
Don't want to reveal it here on the radio right
Yes,
now.
I could. They're pretty strong with the word, the name Luca.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Luka
sweet.
Doncic. Maybe a future NBA player then.
Yeah.
Mm,
So they're all excited.
Will he be forced to throw disc golf?
Never. But it's just fun, you know. It's just fun to throw. Who doesn't like to throw?
Right.
You know, any kind of sports and. I
Well,
love
maybe Jeremy and
I like to throw
can,
kids out of basketball.
Out of-
games.
there you go.
You're out of here, kid. Don't question me.
I use my left arm for that.
Well, I'm left-handed, so
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, there you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's something you and I can do on a. We can start off as rookies together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is how it starts, and
This
like
is how
I said,
it
in a few
is.
months,
And then he'll be.
texting you, going, "I'm the world champion now."
I scored 5 down. You know.
Yeah, still got to learn how to keep track of the score.
Yeah. Yeah, and but for my, I have a women's league, and we've been playing every Thursday, and we start that in April, and it runs to the fall. And,
Where do you play?
We have a traveling league. If you can go on to Ladies of Central Oregon on our Facebook page,
Okay.
We have everything there. And if you're a new lady just wanting to play, or you've been playing with your boyfriend and need some new techniques and stuff, come join our group. We're always
Or if you're
willing to
new
have
to
a
town,
good time.
right? If you just moved up
You're
here
new
to Bend,
town.
people are moving up here all the time. It's a great way to meet some people.
Oh,
and
it is. It
sounds like a
is.
great group of people too. to
It's
get
called
in
the
with.
Ladies of Central Oregon
Yep.
Disc Golf.
Yeah. Ladies of Central
Don't get
Oregon.
confused with the Ladies of Central Oregon Disc Golf.
Disc golf.
Yes.
Right. Or Central Oregon Disc Golf.
Central Oregon Disc
Central
Golf.
Oregon Disc Golf. It'll lead
The
you to our
ladies of Oregon
Facebook page.
pickleball.
Don't want to end up on
yeah.
a dating
That's a different
site
group.
or
Or a
something.
Only if they play disc golf.
Yeah. I don't know. Farmers only. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But I appreciate you coming on the show with us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
And Jeremy also.
Yeah, it was fun.
And you mentioned you like stick figure.
I do.
And so you must know, I know you know Revolution.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you probably know them, right?
I, do. I know them, and Nate knows them. and Val,
Because
yeah.
I know they're friends with them.
Right.
So you
Just
must
know them through them.
have you hung out with them too?
I have. Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
hanging
And
out,
they love disc golf.
hanging out with Revolution.
Yeah.
You know,
So who you know some of these guys? Who are their inspirations? Does it go like Sublime route, or is it more like reggae, Jimmy Cliff, and all that type
That's
of
a
route?
good question to ask them, Jeremy.
When will they be on
Have
the
'em
show?
interviewed,
When will
yeah.
they be on?
We could get them on, I'm sure. But
But Wes, the drummer, is a big fan of Nate. And Nate's a big fan of Wes.
and
So
he plays too, right?
Yeah.
He's sponsored,
Yeah.
I believe.
He
I
might
think
be.
Nate was telling me, or he has his own disc, or he's sponsored, or something like
Yeah.
that, something along those lines. But that's awesome. We appreciate the reggae crossover
yeah.
with the disc golfers. I'm sure it's people got their own little jams out there on the golf.
I always carry my little speaker going. I got to have music when I play.
So if you like stick figure, you would have loved the show that was here the other night, because I would have to say, the hair just stood up on my arms. The show that I saw, was super. It was the best show I've ever seen
Oh, jeez.
in Bend my whole life.
Whoa.
It was just like a full house, like massive amount of people, and they were grooving to just this
Oh,
music.
just like this.
And they had their own pyro too, so they were shooting up fire and stuff. And who doesn't like fire, you know? So and the visuals and lasers.
Here in Bend, we love fire. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Disc golf rules. Come join our ladies league.
Yep, join the ladies league and check out Bevel.
Check out Bevel.
If you want to see some disc golf history, it's all around on the walls there.
Take a walk down the Hall of Fame.
The Wall of Fame, the Hall of Fame.
A Hall of Fame.
All of that.
All of it.
All right. Well, you guys have a good day out there. We're at T minus 10 seconds and counting. Work on your goals. Set your dreams.
Go Dolphins.
Go Raiders.
Go Browns.
Oh!